Hi, I'm Cole, 34, and last month my life blew up when I tried to give my dad a $62,000 SUV for his retirement only for my sister to call me a ditch digger in front of 40 people. So I gave the SUV to my crew chief instead, and watched my family implode like a bad reality show. It was supposed to be one of those heartwarming moments, you know, surprise dad at his retirement dinner, hand him the keys to a brand new Ford Expedition, and bask in the emotional glow. I even wrapped the key fob in a box with the bow. Sophia helped, of course. That's my girlfriend, brilliant architect, way too hot for me, according to my mom. We've been together 18 months, and she's been through enough of these family functions to know how sideways they can go. So picture this. I pull into Giovanni's in Scottsdale in a fully loaded, Canyon Ridge-colored Ford Expedition 62. Worth of everything my dad ever wanted in a vehicle. I parked it out of sight, back corner of the lot, heart pounding because this was going to be his moment. He'd spent 40 years in the construction industry, boots on the ground kind of guy, never treated himself, still drove a truck that looked like it lost a war. He deserved something grand, but I should have known better, because the second I walked into that dining room, it was game on. My sister Claudia spotted me from across the bar like a lioness stalking a gazelle. She raised her wine glass like she was hosting an awards gala. Everyone, my little brother's here. The ditch digger himself. Laughter, not warm laughter. The cold, we're superior to you, but pretending it's banter kind. Now, for the record, I'm a trenchless engineer. That's not some cute way of saying I dig with a shovel. I run million-dollar directional drilling rigs installing underground utilities. I have a master's in civil engineering. I manage 18 guys across multiple sites. But to Claudia and my parents, I'm the dude with dirty boots who somehow missed the boat to cubicle success. Claudia, for reference, is 37 and peak corporate cosplay. Pharmaceutical sales representative. Leased Tesla. Loft she can't afford. Constantly posting LinkedIn, grindset updates that scream, peaked in student government, and still, she's the golden child. Anyway, I get the full sarcastic welcome. Her friends ask if it's hard digging all day. I try to explain what I actually do, but Claudia slaps my shoulder and says, "It's okay, Cole. Not everyone's cut out for corporate life. Somebody gotta dig the ditches." More laughter. Then mom joins in with her usual jabs. "You're here early? Must have set your watch wrong." Then hints we might be more comfortable at the table with the guys from your dad's early construction days. You know where the manual laborers sit. Sophia just squeezes my knee under the table like, "Breathe, babe." Then dinner. Dad gives a sweet speech, honest, emotional. He gets choked up talking about retiring after for decades. I'm sitting there, that gift box burning a hole in my jacket pocket, waiting for the right moment to give him the keys. But then Claudia hijacks the mic. "I just want to say how proud I am of Dad," she says. "He taught us to value professionalism, education, corporate achievement, and I think I've really lived up to that." She glances at me. "Cole, well, he took a different path. More hands-on. But that's okay. Someone has to dig the ditches, right?" Big laugh. Big applause. Even Dad chuckles. And I just sat there, chicken congealing on my plate, thinking, you think this is a roast? You think this is funny? You know what's really funny? Watching what happens when I don't hand over the keys. And suddenly, that fully loaded Ford Expedition parked out back didn't feel like a gift anymore. It felt like leverage. I excused myself and headed for the bathroom, but I wasn't there to pee. I needed a minute. I leaned against the sink, staring at myself in the mirror like I was about to talk myself off a ledge. Months of planning, weeks of paperwork, all of it culminating in that SUV parked 20 feet away. The SUV I bought for a man who just sat there while his daughter publicly reduced me to a punchline. My phone buzzed. "Sophia, you okay?" I stared at it for a second, typed back, "Yeah, just thinking." Another text, instantly, "Don't do anything crazy. Too late." By the time I walked back into the dining room, Claudia was 3 compliments deep into her own LinkedIn profile, bragging about a 5-year contract she landed with the hospital group. Sophia caught my eye and gave me that "please tell me you're not about to go full nuclear" look. I sat back down. Uncle Ray, my mom's black sheep of a brother and former Navy builder, leaned toward me, whispering, "You've got that look." "What look?" I asked, The one that says, "You'll out to regret some life choices." Susan, his wife, leaned in from the other side. "Cole, what are you thinking?" I took a deep breath. "I was going to give Dad a new SUV tonight. Surprise him. It's parked in the back lot right now." Ray raised his brows. "You're serious?" $62,000 serious, I said. "Fully loaded." I cleaned out my savings and took a small loan. Sophia squeezed my hand. "You're not giving it to him anymore, are you?" I shook my head. Susan gasped. "Then, who?" It took me 3 seconds to answer. "Carlos." Ray nearly choked on his water. "Carlos? Your crew chief?" "Yup. Runs drills better than guys with 2 degrees. Sends half his paycheck to family in Mexico. Paid cash for his daughter's college. Drives a 2003 Silverado that sounds like a dying lawnmower." Sophia smiled like she was watching karma hatch live. "You're gonna give your crew chief a brand new SUV?" Susan asked, still in awe. "Why not?" I shrugged. "Carlos never called me a ditch digger. That's when Mom showed up behind me, like some sort of scent tracking missile in kitten heels. You're giving that vehicle to someone else?" Her arms were crossed. That frosty tone she uses when she's about to declare a family scandal. "Yeah," I said, not even flinching. "Carlos deserves it." She blinked. "Don't be ridiculous. Your father is retiring. This is his special night." I stood up. "His special night where everyone laughed while your daughter humiliated me. And you laughed along." "Nobody humiliated you," she snapped. "Claudia was joking." "You're being dramatic." She called me a ditch digger, in front of everyone. Mom's expression twisted. "If you're embarrassed by your job, maybe you should consider a career change. Claudia's company is always hiring." Ray nearly spat his drink. Sophia muttered under her breath, "Jesus Christ." I stepped in close, my voice calm but sharp enough to slice butter. "I run infrastructure projects worth millions. My crew respects me. The city of Phoenix trusts me to keep its underground utilities functioning. I'm not embarrassed, Mom. I'm proud. But I'm done being disrespected by people who still think I carry a shovel for a living." "You're overreacting," she said, voice crack. "No, I'm done. That SUV was going to be yours to brag about. Now, giving it to someone who actually believes I'm worth something." She reached for the box in my hand, like she could still salvage this. I pulled it back. "Buy him a tie," I said. Then I turned and walked out of Giovanni's, leaving my mom, my sister, and the golden child fairy tale to unravel without me. Sophia followed. "You sure about this?" I held up the gift box, the keys still inside. "Carlos is gonna lose his damn mind." And he did. Carlos lived in Mesa, 20 minutes east. A modest single story with a well-kept lawn, a giant sun-faded flag, and a cracked driveway. I'd been there a dozen times for crew barbecues. He grilled like a man who thought salt and smoke could cure all trauma, which honestly they might. I called him on the way. "Boss, everything okay?" he asked, sounding worried because I never called at night unless something went sideways. "You home?" "Yeah, watching La Reina del Sur with Maria." "What's going on?" "I need you outside." "Right now?" "Right now." The dude must have thought I lost my mind. He was standing out front when I pulled up, hands in his pockets, squinting into the dark. Maria peeked from the porch. He spotted the expedition and raised a brow. "Nice truck," he said. "Yours," I replied. He blinked. "Wait, what?" I tossed him the key fob. He caught it, stared at it like I'd handed him a baby dragon. "Boss, no, seriously, what is this?" "I bought it for someone who deserves it." He stared between me and the SUV like I was filming a prank video. "Carlos," I said, "you've had my back for 6 years. Never late. Never complains. You thread a drill head through 300 feet of rock, like you've got X-ray vision. You taught half our crew how to do this job. You give half your paycheck to your mom in Mexico. You drive a 2003 Silverado held together by rust and vibes. I was going to give this to my dad." Then he laughed while my sister called me a ditch digger. His jaw was clenched. I could see his eyes starting to glass up. He looked back at Maria, then at me. "I can't take a truck from you. This is insane. This has to be 62, I said. "But who's counting?" Maria was crying now, covering her mouth like she'd just seen a miracle. Carlos shook his head, still stunned. "I can't. Nobody just gives someone a truck. I do. When they earn it." He hugged me like I'd saved his life, like I was family, Like this moment meant more than any job bonus or award ever could. And that's when I realized it did. It meant more, because this man had earned it every single day, and nobody had ever stopped to tell him he was worth more than worn boots and long hours. He opened every door, ran his hand across the leather seats, checked under the hood. "My daughter's going to lose her mind," he said, half laughing, half crying. "She won't have to worry about your truck breaking down again." We didn't stay long. Maria offered coffee. Sophia politely declined. "This moment's yours," she said to them, and as we pulled away, she turned to me. "You really did it. You gave the SUV to Carlos." "I had to," I said. She nodded. "So what now?" Oh, now it was time to make sure everyone else saw exactly what they'd missed out on. We waited until Sunday, gave Carlos the weekend to enjoy his new ride, gave my family time to stew in whatever version of events Mom was spinning. Probably something like Cole's off sulking because he didn't get enough applause. Saturday morning, Carlos sent me 15 pictures. Him next to the expedition, Maria next to it, their daughter Rosa practically jumping out of her sneakers in front of it. One shot of all three of them, arms wrapped around each other like they'd just won the lottery. That one was the bomb. I crafted the caption like a sniper setting up a perfect shot. Had to be just petty enough to sting, but still noble enough to go viral for the right reasons. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who show up, who have your back, who never treat your worth like a joke. Carlos has been my crew chief for 6 years. Best driller I've ever worked with. His truck died last week, so I got him a new one. He earned it. Tagged Carlos. Tagged my company. Set the post to public. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Let it ride.it took 30 minutes. "Uncle Ray, you absolute legend. Mom's gonna flip a table. Sophia, I've never been more attracted to you in my life." Carlos's daughter Rosa DM'd me. "I just wanted to say thank you. I haven't seen my dad smile like that in years." Then Claudia called. I ignored it. Then again. Still ignored it. Third time. Picked up. "What the hell is this post, Cole?" Carlos with his new SUV said flat. "You bought your employee a $60,000 car?" "Yep. That's insane. Mom said you were bringing Dad a gift. Was this supposed to be his?" "Was being the keyword. Your joke?" "Oh, nope. Was going to surprise him." "Then you stood up, called me a ditch digger, and the entire room laughed." I realized he didn't deserve it. Carlos did. "You're punishing Dad because I made a joke?" I leaned into the silence. "Let her stew." "You publicly humiliated me," I said. "In front of 40 people. That's not a joke. That's disrespect. And now you can deal with the consequences." "Oh my God, you are so childish. And you're so used to no one ever holding you accountable." She was speechless. I hung up. Blocked her. Mom called next. Also blocked. Then Dad. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me to pick up. His voice was low. "Quiet. Son, we need to talk." "About what?" "The gift. Your mother told me everything." Claudia was just, don't say she was joking, cut in. "Just don't," he sighed. "The SUV. It was for me, yeah, and you laughed. With them. Like I was the family embarrassment." Long pause. "Then, your mother wants you to apologize." I barked out a laugh. "I embarrass the family? Not Claudia? Not Mom, who's been calling me a disappointment for a decade? Not you, who sat there and said nothing?" Silence again. "I'm done," I said. "Enjoy your retirement. Hope the old F-150 holds up." I hung up. Turned off my phone. By Monday, the post had blown up in the construction and engineering community. Over 3,000 likes, 600 shares, hundreds of comments from folks in blue-collar trades, engineers, project managers, people who'd been dismissed or mocked because their work involved dirt and steel toes instead of PowerPoint and blazers. A trade publication even ran a headline: "Engineer gives $62,000 SUV to employee." Instead of retiring, father sparks viral conversation on blue collar. Respect Me company's owner called. I thought I was about to get chewed out. Instead, "Best PR we've had in 5 years. You're a damn legend. Clients are loving this." Carlos called me the next day just to say thanks again. He'd washed the SUV 3 times already. And Claudia? Well, Claudia was about to learn the hard way what happens when you try to destroy someone who finally stands up. Claudia did what Claudia always does when her narrative breaks. She doubled down. Monday morning, she went full scorched earth across every platform that would let her type a caption. Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter. Sorry, X, with a matching rant. My brother stole a $60,000 vehicle that was meant for our father and gave it to some random employee just to make himself look good. Now, he refuses to speak to the family. This is what narcissism looks like. She tagged everyone, our company, mutual connections, even an industry newsletter that ran the original viral post. She really thought she was about to cancel me. Instead, the internet roasted her like a Thanksgiving turkey. So, get this straight. You publicly humiliate your brother and now you're mad he gave his own gift to someone who respects him. That's not how gifts work, sweetheart. Imagine being this entitled to someone else's property. Then came the real hit. Someone pulled up a party video. Yep, a guest had posted Claudia's retirement dinner speech, the entire thing, including her "someone has to dig the ditches" line, and the full room laughter. Someone linked it under her post. Game over. Within hours, Claudia's comment section was filled with face-palming emojis, sarcastic quotes, and people asking if this was satire. She deleted the post. Too late. Screenshots were everywhere. But it didn't stop there, because someone, and I don't know who, but I owe them dinner, started going through Claudia's old posts. Now, if you've ever known a pharmaceutical sales rep with a social media addiction, you know what's coming. Claudia was constantly oversharing photos from client dinners, screenshots of emails, proud to be closing a $1.2 million contract with redacted hospital, except she didn't redact enough. A compliance officer from one of those hospitals left a comment. This violates our confidentiality clause. Expect to hear from our legal team by the end of the week. She got fired. Uncle Ray called me, laughing so hard I could barely understand him. Her LinkedIn says she's seeking new opportunities. After 8 years in pharma, she's applying for entry-level marketing jobs. Susan's friend says the whole industry blacklisted her. Son, you broke the golden child. Oh, but wait, it gets better. My mother, never one to accept defeat, quietly showed up at Carlos's house. Yes, my mother tracked down my crew chief's home address, drove across the valley, and knocked on his door like she was serving a warrant. Maria answered. And my mom lost it, started demanding the SUV back, said it was stolen property, accused Carlos of manipulating me, then went full racist boomer and said, "People like you always take advantage." When I showed up 20 minutes later, Carlos looked like he'd seen a ghost. Maria had been crying. My stomach turned. "I'm gonna fix this," I told them. I promise. That night, I wrote a cease and desist letter with my attorney. It was sent via certified mail the next morning to Mom, Dad, and Claudia. Clear and cold. Cease all contact. Stop making public claims. Stay away from our homes and workplaces. Any further action will be met with legal consequences. I thought that would be the final nail, but nope. Claudia had one more bomb to drop, and it was so nuclear, she blew up what little credibility she had left. Friday morning, I'm sipping my coffee, checking emails, enjoying my newly peaceful, family-free life, when Uncle Ray calls again, laughing so hard I think he might pass out. Check Claudia's LinkedIn. Right now. Pull it up. Gone is her pharma empire. Gone are the humble brags and the award posts. Her headline now reads, "Aspiring marketing professional, open to new opportunities, passionate about storytelling and strategy." She'd gone from sales rep of the quarter to applying for $45,000 coordinator jobs. Why? Because Claudia had lit her own career on fire trying to burn me. That scorned sister post she blasted across socials? Someone from her company's compliance team saw it. And when they looked deeper, they found her post dates, hospital names, pricing info, even client photos. Violations everywhere. The kicker? One of the hospitals she'd name dropped and had just closed this monster deal. Post had been tagged in my SUV story by someone from the industry. They saw the chaos, then saw their name. They filed a complaint. Her company investigated, found multiple breaches, and escorted her out of the building with a box of desk plants and a shattered ego. Sophia and I found out through a friend of a friend, one of Claudia's former coworkers. Claudia, Naturally, went into full meltdown mode. Posted a huge, truth-telling rant. Corporate America punishes women for speaking up. I'm being canceled for standing up to financial manipulation. My brother destroyed my life because I made one joke. The comments were not kind. No, you got fired for violating privacy policies. Nice try though. Imagine losing your six-figure job because you couldn't keep your ego in check. Mom called Sophia 3 times that weekend. Left voicemails sobbing about how I'd ruined Claudia's future and fractured the family. Then she showed up at my apartment again. This time, the building security wouldn't even let her up. I watched her on the camera screaming into the intercom like an actual soap opera villain. He stole from his own father. He humiliated us all. He's mentally unstable. My neighbor texted, "Your mom just called you mentally ill in front of 2 delivery guys. Should I bring popcorn?" Then came the actual letter. Yes, handwritten. Like I owed them fealty. Cole, your behavior is unacceptable. That vehicle was intended for your father. You must retrieve it or reimburse us immediately. This is not optional. You have embarrassed this family enough. I took a photo. Sent it to Uncle Ray. His reply, "Your mom's always been delusional, but this is Olympic level. Frame that thing." And while all that drama burned itself out, Carlos was thriving. 8,000 miles on the expedition already. Keeps it clean as a surgical theater. Sends me coffee at the job site like clockwork. His daughter, Rosa, got promoted. Sent me a card. "Thanks for giving my dad peace of mind. I can finally focus on my own future." Meanwhile, Sophia and we got engaged last month. Proposed on a Tuesday over pasta and our socks. She said yes before I finished the sentence. We're house hunting in Tempe now. Just put an offer on a place. 3 bedrooms, big yard, plenty of space for future chaos. Sophia asked if I'd ever let my parents come see it. "Nope," I said. "Not even a little." She smiled. "Good. I don't want them in our house anyway." Here's the thing about cutting out toxic people. It's not just subtracting bad energy. It's making room for better stuff, better people, better love, better peace. I don't miss trying to earn love that came with conditions. I don't miss pretending that just a joke wasn't a slow poison. And I definitely don't miss Claudia's LinkedIn grind set content. Let her reinvent herself. Let her post plant emojis and motivational quotes about failure being the start of growth. I grew the second I chose to stop chasing approval and started standing my ground. Sophia said something to me the other night that hit hard. Your family needed you to stay small. The second you showed them you weren't, they panicked. Yep, they didn't want a successful son. They wanted someone they could feel superior to. So did the one thing they never expected. I chose myself. And that SUV, still sparkling, still driven by the best driller in Arizona. And every time I see Carlos behind that wheel, I remember one simple truth. Respect isn't given based on your title. It's earned by how you treat people. And I finally stopped handing mine to people who never deserved it.